I did do an extensive overview of this project, which I called part 1, but this is really part 1 of the construction, even though I'm going to call this part 2. So we are establishing the walls for this. This is afterwards, and I've completed making the walls, but I will take you through the basic construction of them. Let's make some of the interchangeable boxes for the box rooms. I mean, they all are going to join together. Definitely you're going to want to check out my first video, part 1, where I tell you more details about why and how and the basics of this project. But let's start with this box room, and I am going to pay attention to the direction that I put these floorboards on. I actually initially wanted to not have this part showing, but I'm thinking that it might turn out to be a happy accident. I don't see how it's going to make much of a difference. So I'm going to just make sure that I put all of these forward. So I'm going to make an opposite one of these to put on the other side, even though there's going to be another one of these boards, one of these platforms in between the project. So like this. And I guess the slanted floors are all going to go diagonally in one direction, and that is what I'm choosing to do. But let's make the opposite one of these and make sure that I make it so at least the boards are all facing in the same direction, even though these are made to switch around and be able to be maneuvered around, so the floors are going to be changing position. But the reason why I was so excited about these floors were because they looked good, and they probably looked pretty realistic no matter what direction they're going in, and it just looked like the floors were built this way on beams, and that way you can put all kinds of different cubes together and it still is going to look good. It's going to look good to me anyway. I like an industrial, old-fashioned feel. Okay, so paying attention to this one, that means I'm going to grab one of these artist panels, wooden panels, and put it on the back. This one's going to be overlaid. So this one is going to be totally flat. Now I am almost regretting that I did not make the rooms perfect and just make perfect L's and not going off the side a little bit, but I didn't do it that way. So that's not the way we're doing it, and hopefully I'm going to be happy with the results of the overlapping that I am designing for the floors and the walls. Okay. So all I do is I have my nails. I will put in, let's see how many nails I put in. I think I just put in 2 nails and glue. So nails and glue, and I got lots of clamps. All my clamps, and hopefully I have enough clamps to put all the floors together at the same time. Okay, I've already lost my alignment for the first one, but let me make sure that I have everything standing by, and I will show you how we do this. Always have a damp cloth standing by when you're working with wood and glue. Just makes it easier to keep things not sticky and clean and tidy. And I'm again making sure that this side this is how the opposite ones were, so I'm making it in an opposite angle for this wall. And I probably need to get more glue, but I do have other glue as well. I'll just thought I would use the most expensive glue that I had, or a brand name glue anyway. That's why I went with the Gorilla Glue, and I'll use lots of it. I guess use more than you need. You can always wipe it off, even though you don't want to waste. And I should probably pay attention to what the grains in this look on this, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna. Should I smooth it out with my finger? Should I spread it around to make sure it has coverage? Yeah, it's probably the best thing to do, to make sure that it's all. I mean, the pressure might spread it to all areas, but not always. Can't believe I'm teaching you how to glue. And then, again, make sure that this is the same configuration as I had on the opposite side, or the opposite configuration. And then I'm gonna wipe off the glue, use the wet rag, and clamping these spots together. So I'll do it in 2 places. I don't even remember what I did for my prototypes. Clamp that, make it not so tight so there's shifting possibilities, and then get the other one. Oops, put it in the same direction because I want to be able to put in the nails easily. Okay, and then I'm going to shift things around. I want that to be flush against there. This one's a little bit short, so I'm going to make this as flush as possible, and then because this is the back of it, it won't hurt if there's a little bit of a gap. Walls aren't perfect. I'm probably going to say this a lot. Hopefully I'll say this in a lot in these videos. So when you're doing real construction, the walls aren't always perfect. And the same goes for this. So we're going to see that a lot when we're putting the molding on. We have to compromise. Okay, so I just make the grips nice and tight. And, there's... You know what, I should probably do this at the corner. Okay, I'm taking this off. And because I saw that there was gapping here, that's where I'm going to glue it down and make it tight. And I guess that's probably what I should do. I don't know if that's what I did for my prototypes, but I'm moving it to the edge. Double check that everything's flush, and clamp, tighten it. Guess it would be good to put 3 on. Maybe I will. But no, I'm going to put nails in instead, so nails will also work as a clamp. Clean up the glue in the corners too, even though I will be putting moldings and baseboards and stuff in there right away. I'm going to put the next wall on the back here, and that goes right here. So I guess I'm just going to finish this one platform so then I can let it dry. And you know what, I'm going to nail. I'm going to nail first. So I'm just going to put 2 nails. I'm going to do the longest tack nails I can find. I didn't split the wood in my prototypes, so I've got 2 sizes depending on... I don't know what size this is. I don't know if it says. I don't know if it matters. It's 1 1/4 inch 3D. That's what it says. But I had these, and I see that it's not going to go through everything. So it's the perfect nail, and I'm going to pay attention to the thickness of this and not the thickness of this. So that's where I'll center it. And I'm going to try to hammer on my lap since you can see me. Oh, and it's working. And yeah, I just put in a nail and put in another one. Oh no, I turned my glue upside down. That's not cool. Okay, so I feel really secure about this. It's nailed together. Should I put a third nail in? Since I can. And it's not too late. I'm not worrying about making noise or anything. I might put in a third nail. Because I do have the pressure going on the very edges, so let's add some pressure to the middle. I am excited about later doing something with the insides of these surfaces too. Like, this is going to be great, but I'm going to make it, so one day I'm going to be able to turn these around. Okay, so this one now needs 2 beads of glue. And, I shouldn't use this one because I can see, you can't see, but through the layers there's a streak going back, so I want to make sure that this isn't a wall that I always have light shining through. So I'm not going to use that one, because this is the main back wall that I will use the most. And this one does have, you can't see it, but when I hold it up to the light, you can see different pieces of stuff that are missing. And I save these silica gels for grains in my jars. Check out some of my videos, my haul videos. Okay, this one is not the same size, so it seems this end is shorter. Okay, maybe this is a blessing anyway. It's probably best that it's in a corner, because the corner is where I can build the moldings. Yeah. And then the roof goes on top. The roof will be reliant on this and this. I haven't bought more of these for the roofs, but I've definitely decided that the roof has to be done for taking the pictures. You can't get back far enough if you don't have a roof on it. So I will be putting on a roof. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Glue on these two edges. Glue on this edge. Glue on this edge. Oh, I guess I should smooth it out. And then place it down. I should have had my clamps ready. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, no, oh no, no, no. Oh no, I'm getting glue everywhere. Damp cloth, that's why it's great. So now I have this side clamped and this side clamped. So I make this as flush as possible, and this as flush as possible. Now I'm going to put in some nails into the two new joins. this piece is even narrower, so I have to be very careful about where I'm putting my nail in, because this is much deeper here, so I don't want to go in too deep or then I'll miss the beam. It's hard to maneuver in around all of these clamps. Okay, so while that's drying, I'm going to make another inside shorter wall on the opposite side, so I can make a large arch in the middle. And so I want to make the door as wide as possible. So I'm going to butt the short walls up against the edge here, and then the front wall right here is going to overlap in the front, but I don't have the clamps to do that. I do have one clamp left, so that should be enough to join these two pieces together. I didn't pay attention to the grain. The grain's going this way on this one, and the grain's going this way on this one, but you probably can't even see that in the camera. But I'm still going to mimic that on this side, so the grain's going this way, and I don't agree with that, and it probably won't even be noticeable once I get all of the moldings on here. The moldings, I'm hoping will cover up this gap too, or it won't pay attention, it'll just look like a crack, or maybe I'll add some wood fill, but I like a rustic castle, so I don't even mind that there is going to be this join here. Some joins I do have a problem with, like floor joins, when they're not the right kind of floors. These ones are acceptable, and I think that this is going to be acceptable. And if it's not, again, wood fill I'll just stick in, and it'll just add a little bit of more rustic to it. I won't paint over it. I could. One day I could paint this all white, but I like this natural warm color. Let me get some glue on here, and always remember to not turn your glue right side up. Have a little bowl that you can stick it in. A tin can, of course. One of my tin cans would work. Little glue here. And then the most important flush is right here. And the front of the wall, of course. Okay. Clamp it really tight. Wipe off the extra glue while it's wet. And then add some nails. The longer nails are going to be too long this time. Always measure your nails to see. So I'll use the shorter tacking nails. My glue's not upside down again. Make sure that I didn't vibrate it out of alignment. And I'll put in a third, because they don't go in very far. Looks like this on the back side. See, it's not all flush and even here, just as long as it is on this side and this side, then we're happy. And then it's still gonna look really cool. We're gonna do something awesome with the back sides of these. It's gonna be like a set or just an industrial backdrop just by itself. It's gonna look so good anyway. So okay, I don't know if I let that dry enough, but it is nailed together too, so it should be okay. And we have the two back wall corner units. This is where I am going to put in two other windows, in between. So these are going to I'm going to put another floor in the middle under this guy, and then we will put on the two matching windows on either side of this one in the window construction video. They can go like this, or I'm going to be able to turn them around and butt them up against each other. And like I said in my previous video, construct a beam that I can put up the middle here, or a fireplace chimney or something that I will be able to put those two rooms together like this, and they'll look great. Yeah, I definitely want to hide the seams in the walls because I don't want them to look like box rooms. But I love that I have an option to make it a 2-room or a 3-room, depending on space and what I want to put in the room. Now let's make the front room. So this is, see how this is going to be the back room, and this is going to be the archway from the front room. We need to make the opposite side now. Let's glue this double panel onto a floor piece. Make sure that it's pointing all in the same direction, all in the right direction. This gets butted up against here. Let's go. These tend to slope. They tend not to be perfectly straight, unfortunately, but that's why we get full glue coverage, and maybe not all of the glue is going to make a connection. This whole surface isn't going to make a connection to the floor, but at least the back part will, and then we'll also have the nails in, and then when we put the baseboards on, they will also add extra support. Okay, again, pay attention that I always have these exposed beams in the front, so this gets placed on here, the biggest opening right here. Okay, this seemed quite warped, but hopefully the glue and the nails and everything will hold it into place better. I'm going to quickly construct the other wall so that you have everything drying and sticking together at the same time, and it'll also help keep the shape of everything, and hopefully keep everything square because it's all going together at the same time. So once again, I'm going to do one side and one side, double checking I'm doing this right, making it exactly the opposite of this one. That would be horrible if I wasn't doing it properly. Yes, but we're making the opposite corner. Smooth out the glue, place it on to where it's supposed to be. So this edge is flush as it can be. I'm going to wipe off some of the glue. This edge is alright flush, but the main thing is we have the corner up and it's looking like this, and that's the opposite corner. And I'm going to put in some nails now to secure it more, and I didn't put my glue upside down again, but it's also leaking. My hands are all sticky and full of glue. I haven't been wiping them off. Just put in these nails and we're good. It's hard to get in hammering in between all the little clamps, but you do it. Okay, here we are. We've got the 4 main corners of everything, of every possible configuration. So whenever we need a corner, I done, well, the moldings are going to take the longest, and that's a whole other story for another day. I'm still not sure about the roof and how I'm going to do it separately. I think I keep changing my mind, but you can see there are many different ways to configure. These could even nest in here. We have a corner unit like that. That would work. Bring this around this way. And you can have different hallways if you layer them. Doorways, hallways. Okay, so when I started this project, I thought that, I think 9 segment square segments together was going to be the base. But I think in the long run, the space that I use, the shelves that I put these on, I don't think I can keep. I don't think I have space. Maybe down the road one day I will have space to have a whole 9 segment or 10 or 12 segment where we really have, layers of rooms going in here like this, and then you can take really long shots. For that you would need to put a roof on, which I do think I am going to put the roof on. I still haven't totally worked that out yet. But because I have these shelves, more narrow shelves, the segments that I have are only going to be 2. I can only fit 2 segments on a shelf. Now, the cool thing is that it does make it stackable, and you can't see, but I can also build a 2-segment stackable house. Dollhouse. It would be a really, not just a diorama, it would turn into a house. But I think on the shelves I will store them, and for everyday photographs that I will be able to set up it like this. So I'm going to configure the moldings around how the transformable walls move around. So we're going to see this in the next video, where this main basic plate fits is how I will decide on the dimensions of the moldings on the rest of these walls and how they will look. But this will fit perfectly on my shelves, and I'll have this little mini diorama to work on, and I will use the other 2 corners that we created today and I'll probably flip them. So you're seeing right now how things are transformable. I'll flip these like this, and the windows will be on the sides of this mini diorama, and I do have to come up with a column. As you can see, walls aren't crooked. I guess if I put a roof on here, if I nail a roof, that would probably bend these pieces in a little better, but nonetheless, this is the reason why I didn't construct the rooms like this in the first place. I will build a column to put up the middle here, a fireplace, many possibilities, something that I can stick in here, or a fireplace and a column, and whatever room accent detail, something that will fill in the spot there and hide the seam. So yeah, those I think that's what I'll end up doing, having these 2, but I'll be able to take them out, put them in, put in the different segments, and construct the dimensions I need, the mood that I'm in for that time period. I do have to figure, they're a little front heavy, so I do have to kind of figure out how I'm going to attach those and make those stay. I'm gonna fit up. Again, a roof would make that slide right into place and keep its position. And I think I do need roofs on here to be able to photograph from long distances, because you need the closure. I hope you're enjoying this process. Part 3 coming really soon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.